Some new developments have happened in the crossover scene, developments that once again puts most of fiction in jeopardy. For those unaware, I'm someone who likes exploring and mapping out fiction. I've done it a few times before, and through those videos, I came to the conclusion that most fiction is connected to DC, Fortnite, or Demon Bane. But how? The culprit is Fortnite, because of its canon Marvel and DC crossovers. For Demon Bane, because of the canon Nitroplus blasters, which through Arcana Heart eventually gets to Super Robot Wars, Power Rangers, TMNT, and finally DC. For the full information, I linked the original videos in the description. Okay, so I hope you're caught up, because the recent crossovers have made this even more blatant. But first, I want to make it clear. When I say connected, I only mean in-universe appearances with story or lore behind them. Cosmetic skins or promotional cameos don't count here. With that out of the way, Sonic has recently crossed with DC in a comic. Sonic is connected to Mega Man, who connects to Project X Zone, who connected to Devil May Cry, who connects SMT, who connects Blaze Blue Cross Tag, who connects to Ruby, who connects with DC. A loop, a somewhat shaky one due to Cross Tag's questionable nature, but a loop nonetheless. Next, Godzilla has recently crossed with DC and Marvel. Godzilla connects with Power Rangers, which connects to TMNT, which connects to DC. Not good enough. Godzilla directly ties to Super Robot Wars, which connects to Demon Bane and Power Rangers. So you see, it's all connected. I'm not crazy. But this does bring in a significant problem. How does this giant cosmology work? At this point, it's almost a guarantee that Demon Bane, Fortnite, and DC are connected. However, they all tell different origin stories that can't coexist. Azathoth, dreaming all of reality. DC, everything being a living comic book. Fortnite, everything emerging out of the 0 point. Which one is true? Which entity or construct is truly the strongest within this massive slice of fiction? Azathoth, Overvoid, or the 0 point? Assuming the 0 point isn't a creation myth allowed to exist in the collective consciousness by DC's Hecate, we can safely rule it out. It can easily be the living manifestation of the first thought of the Overvoid or Azathoth. Also helps that Fortnite itself questions whether or not the 0 point is truly the starting point of everything. So it's down to Overvoid and Azathoth. The living comic page or dream. I propose this theory that all is Azathoth's dream, and the Overvoid is simply the conscious framework of its dream. This isn't canon declared by any publisher, it's a continuity theory built by treating crossovers as data points. If that's accepted, then we need to ask how the most important stories of their respective franchises work. The entirety of DC and beyond is within the greater Omniverse, which is within the Overvoid. The concept of the Great Darkness existed as long as the Omniverse. This is the perfect place to place Azathoth and those that keep him asleep. This could be where several of the universes directly connected to Demon Bane are. But we know the source, or the 0 point if you want to go there, comes along eventually and sends out the hands to create multiverses. But where does it come from? Well, it's the first thought of the Overvoid, who also becomes conscious at some point. The hands create various multiverses we know. Eventually, Perpetua does her thing to create the behemoth of DC. But that's DC, how about Demon Bane? How does that story fit? Well, it's complicated. Because of recent contradictions and retcons from Zanma Tazin, Demon Bane, Dyne Freaks and Nitroplus blasters have become less concrete canon. Wise. They still happened within the totality of Demon Bane, but maybe not the main continuity. Because of that, I don't know for sure if Azathoth was ever nearly destroyed. If not, it doesn't really matter what happens in Demon Bane. It has no effect on the rest of the Omniverse. The better question is how these crossovers happen when you have such vast distances between the universes. The answer is that I have no idea. This is the dream of a mad god. Anything is possible and wacky stuff can happen. This does mean that Azathoth can dream good dreams alongside horrific ones. That's good to know. But wait a minute. If this is all true, how does it look? Azathoth dreams of the Overvoid, a living comic book, and also exists within it. How does that work? Easy, Azathoth dreams of itself dreaming. A dreamer within a dream. Things like this happen in real life with false wake-ups, dreaming in a dream. Complex and annoying, I know, but I'm not the one who writes this mess. I just try to make sense of it. So what did we learn today? 1. Most of fiction is Azathoth's dream. This includes all of Cartoon Network and Nintendo as a simulation within a dream. The explanation is in the description. 2. We can place a good deal of anime in Azathoth. Wait, what? Why? Blamed Talma. Let me list off the crossovers Toru has and their connections. Code Geass, which connects to Super Robot Wars. But you know who else connects with Code Geass? Sino Alice, which has ties to Nier Automata, who ties to Final Fantasy XIV. Welp, goodbye Kingdom Hearts, Disney, Assassin's Creed, The Witcher, Monster Hunter and so much more. Guess it makes sense, Sonic was already in this. Speaking of Witcher, it brings in Cyberpunk, due to possibly implying it exists out there by Siri.
The world where Eridan couldn't find you, what was it like?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
People there had metal in their heads. Waged war from a distance, using things similar to megascopes. And there were no horses. Everyone had their own flying ship instead.
Siri, stop fooling around.
Told you wouldn't believe me. We should have stayed there.
Cyberpunk's Lucy has a story mode with Guilty Gear. That time I reincarnated as a slime, which crossed with Overlord in a mobile game with an actual story. It also crossed with Sino Alice and Frieren, so yeah. Danmachi, which crossed with Date Alive, Goblin Slayer, Attack on Titan, and Strike the Blood. Crossing Void Game, which brings in so many like Shakugan no Shana, Irregular at Magic High School, and Sword Art Online. Speaking of, SAO crossed with Excel World, Tales of Arise, and Persona 5. Persona 5 has crossed with Star Ocean, who has crossed with Valkyrie Profile. Fullmetal Alchemist, Shikikumen no Seikyo Kenya. Konosuba, which strengthens the connection with Overlord. But it also brings in Isekai Quartet, and damn near every Isekai in existence thanks to Cautious Heroes cosmology. You think that's it? Wrong. Shin Megami Tensei Liberation, DX2, has a crossover with Evangelion. Evangelion appears in Super Robot Wars, giving this a stronger connection. But Evangelion also crossed with, of course it did, Honkai Impact 3rd. That brings in the entire Hoyoverse in Sea of Quanta. Guess there's a tree growing out of the Great Darkness, no worries. Shin Megami Tensei again crossed with 7 Deadly Sins. You know what? Who else did these bastards cross with? Oh. Bastard? Madoka Magica. Berserk. Bayonetta. Devil May Cry.
It's ridiculous. It's obvious what's being done out here. It's on a nightly basis. I hope the world can see now what's really going on out here, because it's getting ridiculous.
Cross Edge, a game like Project X Zone, is also part of Demon Bane. Guess who's in there? Darkstalker's characters alongside Etna from Disgaea and Marlon from the Atelier franchise. Disgaea has a connection to Hyperdimension Neptunia, due to Nisa appearing in both. Neptunia crossed with Trillion and Azur Lane. Atelier crossed with several things in Warriors All-Stars. Goodbye Warriors games and Dead or Alive. Warriors also has connections to Pokémon, so that's gone. Ha, Palworld is more real in fiction due to this. Resident Evil is in Dead by Daylight, which brings in Castlevania, Tokyo Ghoul, and fucking Dungeons and Dragons. I guess one of the source's hands created that whole reality. Oh, did I say D&D? Guess that means Magic the Gathering is also in this clusterfuck. Due to the universe's Beyond cards, we wrap around to Marvel and DC while adding the following. Warhammer, Doctor Who, Ghostbusters, and Transformers, who have crossed with Star Trek. Lord of the Rings, Arcane, and League of Legends. But to be fair, out of everything, this is the most questionable. Should we really count these cards? MTG stories and lore are told through the cards usually, so maybe it's questionable. Oh, and before I forget, did I mention that Naruto had a crossover with TMNT 2? If it wasn't for Jump Force being completely impossible, then we would be oh wait, J-Stars exists. Well, goodbye nearly every fucking anime. You're Azathoth's property now. Or DC if you really want Overvoid to be king here. Either way, most fiction is nothing but a mad god's dream or a living comic book. But hey, I still win in the end. Why? Because once again, this only makes Masadaverse and Umineko more powerful. Heck, SCP, Elder Scrolls, and World of Darkness 2, they are far above these matters. But for how long? When They Cry, a part of Umineko, already had a collab event with Sino Alice. But thankfully, there's no story mode involved like the others, so this can be ignored. The same with character skins and costumes. But this is not a complete list, and there can be other connections. I can make one if you want. There are far more valid connections to be made in this map of fiction. Till next time, I'm done.